The GR Corolla has taken the world by storm. I can't turn a corner without people talking to me about it, asking my thoughts, asking my opinions, whether it's at work, at church, in my DMs, people texting me from the other side of the country. It doesn't matter. Everybody and the grandma is talking about the GR Corolla. Look at the world around us and what we live right now, right? What's the biggest hole in the market? Hot hatches, rally cars, hot hatch rally cars. There's nothing there. It's gone. That whole niche of the market has vanished. It's disappeared. Toyota is just so bold, so brave, and I love it because they're putting so much focus and effort into this car. Let's start off with some simple basic information about this car because you can get this off of Toyota's website. It's right there. Look at this. 300 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque on a 6-speed manual with a trick diff setup, all-wheel drive. This thing is a rally car for the road. When was the last time you heard those words said? Because last time I ever paid attention to that phrase, we were talking about Evos and WRX STIs and eventually Focus RSs, which all happen to not be built anymore. Come on, guys. Toyota is a friggin' genius for deciding to put this car out because now we have something that attacks a niche that has been screaming for new cars, screaming to reintroduce these cars back into the market. People were so upset with Ford when they cut off the Focus RS. People were upset genuinely, like me, when they turned off the Evo lineup. And even more depressed when they brought back a car that was similar to the Evo as a crossover SUV. And well, right now people are even more angry about the new WRX and the lack of an STI. This car has shown up. It is pissed in everyone's Kool-Aid and it is telling the world how it really feels. Because, I mean, if you saw the press release video, oh my goodness. That entrance was probably the best way to say that we are here, we're loud and proud, and we're not ashamed of it. This car is basically an Evo. If Toyota built an Evo, it's harkening back to the old Celica GTS 4 days. And it's doing it in probably one of the best looking shells I've seen out of Japan in a really long time. That thing looks phenomenal, sounds phenomenal, and I guarantee it's gonna feel phenomenal because Gazoo Racing logic, like, it's all over that car. It's blessed with the Gazoo Racing ideology and engineering and design language. It's gonna be a fantastic car to see in person, which I personally cannot wait to see it, but more importantly, it's gonna be a fantastic car to drive. And can we just talk about the fact that it's got a 1.6 3-cylinder turbo? This thing is a big engine. We're basically talking about an old Scion engine that just got completely reworked, completely revamped. I mean, look at this picture of this block. If this is legit how the block is going to look, dude, that's got more cylinder wall than the Evo 8 does. And mine has had tons of work done. This is crazy. And the starting MSRP is like $28,000. This is easily going to be a car that dealers going to try and mark the daylights up out of, and it's going to be on the news, and we're going to have this whole shindig like we are right now with the Z's and definitely with anything to do with Ford. But give it time, the dealers will get slapped in the wrist and it'll all go back to normal. But a starting price that low, they're definitely taking shots at their other Japanese competitors, and they're taking shots and even some of the more European competitors. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's a rally car for the road, and Renault was a big name in rally at one point in time. Lancia, who kind of exists again, was also in that realm. And of course, we had people like Audi. This car is aimed at the market, and it's got a ton of presence behind it. As is Ryan Turk won his first outing at Formula Drift in one of these, running 27 pounds of boost. My Evo fully built engine is running on almost 30. The fact that this thing is almost the same amount of boost in it is insane, and it ought to tell you the capabilities of that engine, which is one of the big things I really wanted to talk to you guys about. This engine could become as notorious as a 2JZ if people really take the time to try and just hack the daylights out of that ECU and mod the fire out of that motor. I'm seeing an engine capable of tons of power, 300 horsepower hour, 3 cylinders, 100 horsepower a cylinder, and it's a 1.6. This is an engine that I think people will try to take out of these cars when they get wrecked and try and shove them into things like 240s, old Z's, even maybe some old turbo Mustangs, because it's making the same amount of power, if not more, and it's a newer engine, which means that you're going to be able to find parts, maybe even have those parts warranted, who knows. This thing could be the next big engine. This car already has plenty of attention around it, but it could easily become the halo car of this generation of car enthusiasts. The Supra failed to make waves when it first landed. The Type R was big but rippled out fast. The GR86, well, people forgot that it was coming out because of the hype around the GR Corolla and Yaris. And, well, the Nissan Z is still a big deal, but this is way more approachable at a much lower price tag and functional at a 4-door, technically 5-door hatchback. I think a lot more people are going to be interested in the GR Corolla, and I really think that this car is going to become the most desirable car of 2022, even over things like the Bronco, because being that it's a rally car means that you can do rally car things with this tiny little car that could, and allow me to correct myself, tiny little car that can. And with that said, if you like our thoughts and opinions of this particular Toyota engine and car, you should check out this video where we put an older Toyota engine into our Nissan 240SX. This thing's pretty wild.